Hello you guys, this is Kim and bienvenidos to your love and relationships reading for August 2023, where we are going to find out what it is that you can expect and or look forward to when it comes to your relationship with yourself, your platonic relationships, as well as your romantic love life. So this reading does consist of 4 parts. In part 1, I will be sharing with you what I intuitively picked up on and or sensed when connecting with the energy of your group, as well as give you a sneak peek into the main themes and or lessons of this month when it comes to love and relationships. In part 2, we will take a look at how your relationship with yourself will be for the month of August. In part 3, we will take a look at your platonic relationships, and my intention for this part of the reading is to include and or keep in mind family relationships, friendships, business partnerships, colleagues, co-workers, acquaintances, etc. In part 4, we will take a look at your romantic love life. So this part of the reading is for everyone, whether you are in a committed relationship or are seeing someone or are currently single, because we will focus on your romantic love life in general. And lastly, for part 5 of the reading, I will be offering space for you to receive a direct message, advice, and or guidance for each relationship dynamic. So advice for your relationship with yourself, for your platonic relationships, and for your romantic love life. And if there is someone whom you have a specific relationship dynamic with that you want to receive a message from, you can also set an intention to do so in this part of the reading. Okay, but now let us take a closer look at the options. For option number 1, we have the Koala. For option number 2, we have a combination of the Snail and the Shark. And for option number 3, we have the Peacock. So as always, please take a moment to cast your gaze upon the options and or meditate on them in order to see which one you are drawn the most to and are called to, because the one that you are drawn to will be the reading for you. And once you have chosen your group, then please head on over to the description box and or the comment section down below, where the timestamp for each group is provided so that you can skip right on over to your reading. Okay? But now that you have chosen, let's get right into your messages. Let's go! Hello, you guys who chose the Koala. Bienvenidos to your reading. So immediately when tapping into this group's energy, I got a very calm and peaceful feeling, and the only message that came to mind was sitting with it. So I feel that when it comes to your emotional realm or your emotions, especially in your love and relationships, it's going to be pretty peaceful in the month of August. And or if emotions are running high, I don't see you being so affected by them or driven by them, where you feel like your emotions are getting the best of you. On the contrary, I see you feeling pretty okay with feeling through your emotions, sitting with them for a while before releasing them. Yeah, and I'm noticing all this pink in the background, and the pink is associated with the higher heart chakra, which is the energy center that connects us directly with our higher selves and with our inner child. At least that's the way I interpret the higher heart. So I do see you feeling very in tune with your inner world, as well as with the energy of love and acceptance. Yeah, so because I see you quite in tune with your higher self, your higher being, I see you seeing others and or your relationships or connections through the eyes of love and compassion. So I'm almost getting like zero judgment coming from you, which honestly that I find to be quite rare, because it happens. We judge even if we don't want to. Sometimes it just happens because that's what we kind of been programmed to do. That's what we've learned to do. So it's quite interesting that I don't really sense that energy coming from you in the month of August. I'm getting a very neutral, very peaceful vibe from you guys, where you're looking at the people around you, you're looking at your connections and your relationships with an unbiased perspective. And so you could be learning a lot about your relationships, your connections, or the people who are in your life in the month of August because you are seeing them with such neutrality. There is no filter that is distorting any images, any personality. You're seeing your connections, your relationships, your loved ones as they are presenting themselves in the moment. So I also see you holding a lot of space for others, space to allow others to be themselves, to express themselves emotionally, or just allow themselves to be. Because what is coming to mind is allowing someone to be themselves in silence. So you could be experiencing a lot of situations in which you find yourself being with someone or sitting with someone in silence. But it's not uncomfortable, it's not awkward, it's quite reassuring and very, very comforting because there is zero judgment. No one is expecting anything of the other. You're just enjoying each other's presence and company, which is quite sweet. And I am getting a very endearing vibe from the koala. So the koala could be a spirit animal that will be working with you very closely in the month of August, especially when it comes to be it romantic love or just love and relationships. But this koala could also be representing either your energy, the energy you will be embodying in the month of August, or the energy of someone else who will be playing a significant role in your life this month. I am getting a very pure, innocent, almost childlike essence from this koala, and for some I even feel that this koala could be representing a younger person, so an actual child or someone who is just much younger than you in age, someone that still needs to be provided for and or cared for, or this could simply be someone who is younger in you when it comes to life experience. So they could be someone who is learning from you or looks up to you or sees you as an example. But this person, whoever it may be, if it is someone else or if it is you, they are coming through as very cuddly, very affectionate, and possibly even a bit clingy at times. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I know clingy has a negative connotation to it, but it's more like someone whose love language is physical touch, physical proximity. It's spending time together, quality time together. Yeah, so this could be indicating that you or someone very significant in your life is going to be quite affectionate this month with their loved ones, or is going to feel inclined to spend a lot of time with their loved ones or significant other. Yeah, but let me read the message on the back of this card. So we have Koala with wisdom. Koala gives us with sacred wisdom. Through his ability to climb high into the canopy, he encourages us to seek a broader vision of the universe. Above the fray, we are able to see distances far beyond the horizon. Sitting atop the trees, he speaks of interconnection and solidarity. In his presence, he beckons us to protect the memories of our many ancestors, honor our fragile ecosystem, and protect Mother Earth from our recklessness. Koala's wisdom calls upon us to uphold our fidelity. So I like how we had messages about seeking a broader vision, kind of having this higher perspective. And we do have this overall energy of wisdom, because I did mention how I felt that in the month of August, you are going to be very in tune with your higher self, with that higher perspective, seeing others through the eyes of love and acceptance rather than judgment or biases. Okay, yeah, so now let us take a look at what it is that you can expect and or look forward to when it comes to your relationship with self in the month of August. Also, with the koala, some of you could be connecting with people, especially if you yourself are interested in environmental causes, in helping animals, assisting Mother Gaia. You could be connecting with people who share the same vision as you when it comes to environmentalism, sustainability, the protection of animals, and so forth. You could even be volunteering somewhere where the aim or the goal is to protect nature or to protect animals. Okay. But we have luck is on your side, allow the gems to fall at your feet with the number 80, the key terms jackpot, fortunate, and pleasure. If you see a little bug, it's a gnat that's been flying around over my desk for a while now. Okay. Oh, so we have the Two of Cups with mutual respect, love, and equality. So I really like this because this lets me know that your relationship with yourself is going to be pretty good in the month of August. With jackpot, it honestly feels like you yourself are going to be quite, it's going to sound a bit cheesy, but quite excited and enthused that you get to be you, or that you get to provide for you, that you get to nurture yourself, that you get to work on yourself, that it is you who you get to see grow and transform. Because with jackpot, that's the feeling I'm getting, like, I hit the jackpot. So these two cards give me this feeling of feeling very lucky to be you. Yeah, so there's a lot of self-love occurring in the month of August. There's a lot of giving back to yourself, nurturing the self, and being quite respectful of yourself as well. Like, I see you respecting your boundaries, respecting your needs, not putting yourself on the back burner, putting yourself first in every situation, even when you are thinking of others. Yeah, because with the koala, I'm getting a very unconditional and selfless love. So I do feel like you guys are very selfless when it comes to how you love, when it comes to how you nurture and so forth. But what I'm seeing here is that even though you are caring for others, even though you think of others, in thinking of others, you're not sacrificing your needs, or you're not forgetting about yourself. You're also including yourself in the picture, which is super important. And that's why I think we have the Two of Cups, because it's you and it's your loved ones. It's together. And I know we have yet to look at your platonic relationships and then your romantic love life, but I do feel like when it comes to your relationships in general, the people you are in a relationship with, be it platonic and or romantic, it's very mutual, where they are putting themselves first, but they are also putting you first. They're not leaving you out of the picture when they think of themselves or for themselves. I hope that makes sense. So I'm also getting this feeling of feeling very lucky to have the relationships that you have. And there's this feeling of you feeling very proud of yourself for having chosen the people that are in your life. Because I know there's certain people that we grow up with that at some point it feels like we didn't necessarily choose to be with them. It happened, like blood relatives and so forth. But even still, when it comes to like our biological relatives, there comes a point in which we can then choose whether we want to maintain relationship with them, whether we want to deepen the connection with them. There's always a choice at the end of the day. So I see you considering the fact that you do have a choice as to who build relationships with, and you're feeling pretty proud of your choices. And the fact that there's so many people, so many loving, respectful people who also choose you. It's like reciprocated. Yeah, so with jackpot, there's this feeling of I have really good discernment, or I have a really great judge of character. I'm quite proud of myself for building and nurturing the relationships that I have in my life. Yeah, so there's a lot of like self-love, self-praise going on in the month of August, which is beautiful to see. And we do have the number 80 here. If we reduce it, we get the number 8, which is a number that I associate with dedication, perseverance, diligence, practice. So I see you quite dedicated also to building a stronger, stable, and safe relationship with yourself. And the treasure chest is making me think of abundance, like building your abundance. And I'm thinking of abundance as something created from within. you know, feeling fulfilled, feeling whole, feeling complete, feeling good within yourself. With the Two of Cups, I also see you exploring and or investing time and energy in things that give back to you in fulfillment, in joy, in pleasure. So, you know, like engaging in a favorite hobby or activity, or just, you know, doing things because they bring you a sense of peace, because you just enjoy doing them, like going on a picnic with a loved one, or even with yourself, because I do see some of you guys taking yourself out on dates, or just going on little adventures with yourself. Yeah, because we do have the Two of Cups here. I do see you spending a lot of time with your loved ones. So even though you do have opportunities to go take yourself on a date or be in solitude, I see you choosing to be in the company of your loved ones. I mean, there could be a balance, you know, of you making time and space to just be with you in your own company and enjoying it very much, but also making time and space to be in the company of your loved ones and also enjoying that very much. With Jackpot, I will say that I do see you doing quite financially well in the month of August. You could be feeling quite financially stable and secure, and because you are feeling financially stable and secure, I do see you treating yourself quite a bit, and also treating your loved ones. Being quite generous in the month of August. I'm not getting something like overspending, but I also don't see you being very frugal. Like, you're being mindful of your financial situation and of your finances, but you're not holding back and treating yourself and treating your loved ones. Yeah, and I do see some of you guys planning and or doing some little events, you know, like a picnic, for example, or going camping, or setting up a nice dinner. Again, it could be for yourself only, or for a loved one, or for loved ones. Yeah, and because the Two of Cups represents reciprocity, like I said, I also feel like it's not you only being very attentive when it comes to your loved ones, but your loved ones also reciprocating that energy, you know, like treating you, taking you out on dates, buying you little gifts, or being very, very generous with you. So overall, I see you feeling quite good about yourself, for yourself, and in yourself. And I see you being filled with love. I'm surprised that the Ace of Cups didn't show up, because it's giving you that energy of the Ace of Cups, feeling like you're overflowing. But maybe the reason why the Ace of Cups didn't show up and instead the Two of Cups did is because you are pouring your love. You know, you're not just overflowing with it. You are directing your love somewhere, and then it's being reciprocated. It's an exchange of energy and an exchange of love. So it's like you do have somewhere or someone to pour your love into, and not be drained by that action, because you are getting love back in return. So this could be like pouring your love into a project, a work, a profession, a hobby, a craft, a passion, and it pouring back to you in fulfillment, in joy, in excitement, in happiness. And or it could also be pouring your love into a relationship, into a connection, and it pouring back into you in love, in affection, in respect, in adoration, and so forth. Yeah, so that's very nice. But I definitely do see relationships and connections being a huge theme for the month of August. But now I'm gonna move into your platonic relationships. Also, you guys could be gaining a lot of financial profit and or abundance from something that you are creating with someone else, like a business partnership or a collaboration. Or you could be working on something on your own and receiving a lot of monetary profit from it, but it won't necessarily feel like you're working on this alone, because you are discussing this with your loved ones or with a significant other. So they could be giving you ideas or offering you advice that you are applying, and it's working very, very well for you, very well for your business or for your finances. But let's see, when it comes to platonic relationships. Ooh. So we have taste with indulge, the number 33, and the message, use your tongue to taste all that it can taste. Your taste buds may be extra heightened right now. Try new spices or flavors that entice you. There may also be an energy around you that knows how to indulge. Okay, so there's are too many cards, so I feel like taking this one. This is the only one that flipped over. So we have the 6 of coins upright with charitable giving, shared wealth, and generosity. Yeah, as mentioned, I do see you feeling quite generous in your relationships and your connections. But with the 6 of coins, this speaks about reciprocity. So what you're giving out, you're getting back in return. So yeah, I feel there's a lot of reciprocity in your platonic relationships and connections. There's a lot of giving and receiving. There's mutual affection, there's mutual respect, mutual understanding. It's a very, very loving and caring energy. The number 6 also gives me a very nurturing vibe, so I also see you feeling quite nurtured in your platonic relationships. Yeah, and with the donuts showing up here, and especially with taste, there's gonna be a lot of, showing up out of nowhere with a little gift, with a little snack for a loved one, for a friend, for a family member, for a co-worker or a colleague, if that applies to you when it comes to platonic relationships. Yeah, and it's not because someone asked you to go buy a little snack for them. It's just because you were out and about and you thought of someone and you just wanted to surprise them with their favorite snack or with a little treat. So I'm also seeing a lot of acts of service, expressing your love, your affection in that way. Yeah, and remember, this is a very reciprocated energy. So it's not just you showing up with little gifts and presents, but it's also the other people in your platonic relationship. So you might be surprised often in the month of August with little gifts and snacks. It could also be with events, because I did mention something about like going on a picnic or going out on dates or preparing a dinner, like going out for lunch with your friends and treating each other to a very tasty pastry and or dessert. Because there's something here about like pastries and food and snacks. Yeah, so maybe you guys are quite the foodies, and so food, snacks are very important to you. It could be your love language, like if someone drops by with your favorite snack without you having asked for it, that could be like a huge sign that this person cares for you, that they know you, especially if they know what you like when it comes to food. So you could be receiving a lot of confirmations like that in the month of August, like a lot of people showing and demonstrating that they are paying attention to your likes and your dislikes. For example, if you once mentioned that you really, really loved this specific candy and or lollipop, that is quite rare, and then someone all of a sudden shows up with it like 5 months after you mentioned it, then that lets you know, oh, this person was paying attention, that they did keep that in mind. They do care. With the number 33 here, this is a master number and it's known as the mentor-teacher number. So that makes me think of respect. There being a lot of respect, mutual respect in your platonic relationships and connections. I'm also getting work vibes from the 6 of coins. So if you work a 9 to 5 or you have to commute to a physical location for work, I do see there being a lot of camaraderie, a lot of teamwork at work, like helping each other out with projects, being there for one another. Again, someone could be showing up with treats, like with breakfast or with bagels, with donuts, with coffee. And there's this feeling of, just giving without expecting anything in return. You're giving because that's what you want to do. Like the fact of giving alone is very fulfilling to one. So I don't see you feeling any pressure to give back in any way. If you give back, it's because you choose to do so, because it came from the heart. That's the vibe I'm getting here. So there's a very amiable and friendly vibe that I'm getting from a workplace. And or you could be establishing a very close connection and or friendship with a coworker or a colleague. I see you learning from each other and also bonding over having similar tastes. It could be similar taste in food or in music. It's just having similar interests and you could be bonding over that. I'm also getting something like having inside jokes with someone. So it could be with that colleague, with that coworker, or it could be with, you know, someone you share similar interests with. Yeah, but I'm getting a lot of like indulging in your favorite snacks with someone. And the number 3 is reminding me of the 3rd house in astrology, which is the house of communication. So I also see you having really great communication in your platonic relationship. So feeling free and feeling safe enough to communicate your needs, to communicate your desires, and also feeling safe enough to joke around, to be silly, to be yourself. Yeah, there's this feeling of you don't really have to filter yourself, especially your thoughts, your ideas when it comes to your platonic relationships. You can be open, you can be honest. And I'm getting something like without even trying. You find yourself relaxing in the company of the people you do have a platonic relationship with. And again, there's that feeling of no judgment. You feel safe enough to do this, to express yourself authentically because you sense no judgment. You know, it's that feeling of creating a safe space in which you can just be in each other's company and not feel awkward. You can laugh out loud and snort and make weird noises and not feel awkward or not be shamed for it. And because we have a lot of like imagery of food and snacks, there is also something about feeling comfortable to eat, you know, in the presence of these people that you do have a platonic relationship with. So if you tend to be self-conscious when you are eating in the presence of someone else, yeah, I don't see any of that when it comes to your platonic relationships. Yeah, and again, it's because there's no judgment. No judgment coming from you and no judgment coming from the people you have a platonic relationship with. So it's very, very nice. Like all this energy here is so nice. It's so giving, so receptive, so nurturing, and very harmonious. Some of you guys could be spending a lot of time with someone who is 33 years of age, or maybe you are 33 years of age. I don't know why the number 33 made me think of an age, but if not, that is perfectly fine. It was just an extra little message that came to mind. Oh, and I also see you sharing a lot of your interests with your significant other, whether you share the same interests or not. It's just like you're sharing what gets you excited with your loved ones, because it could also be the way that you express love, you know, sharing what brings you joy with the people that you care about. So you could be experiencing a lot of that, and again, I feel it's mutual. So the people you have a platonic relationship with could be like calling you up at a random time, or just, you know, knocking at your door with something that they found interesting or funny, like a meme or a video or a recommendation for a movie or a playlist or a song or something along those lines. It's like they want to share their interests, their joy with you, and vice versa. I see you doing the same, which is also very, very nice. I like this energy. Okay, but now I'm going to move into your romantic love life. Yeah, so expect to learn about a lot of new things this month, or maybe even get into new interests. Yeah, because who knows? Maybe something that someone shares with you, you could end up liking it a lot, and it could become your new thing. You know, like if someone shares an artist with you, they could end up being your favorite artist or something along those lines. Okay, but now let us look at your romantic love life or your romantic relationship. Oh, okay. So we have number 43 with emotional, the key term sensitive, and the message: treat yourself delicately. Avoid force or any tension right now. Emotions could rise. Also treat your relationships delicate. They could be hiding a sensitive feeling within. Okay. To shuffle this one more time. Okay. So I was struggling to shuffle this deck for this section of the reading, which I find that to be quite interesting. Okay, so we have Death in reverse with resisting change, inevitable endings, and stagnation. I don't know if you guys noticed, when I was trying to shuffle the tarot deck, I couldn't get them to stack up or to merge. They kept clashing, so I couldn't shuffle it. So that makes me think of resistance, possibly maybe butting heads with someone, not seeing eye to eye, or it's mostly resisting, like resisting one another. And what just came to mind is not wanting closure or resisting to bring something to a close or to close a chapter. Yeah, and then we do have the Death card in reverse, which is giving me the feeling of someone holding on to something, not wanting to let go. Because death, when it is upright, it indicates endings, transformation, letting go of the old in order to make space for the new. So when it comes to your romantic love life, there could be a little bit of tension. Maybe, there's different messages that are coming to mind for this one, so please use your discernment here, because I'm sensing that some of you could currently be in separation. Some of you could have recently come out of a romantic relationship, or it's not necessarily coming out of a romantic relationship, it's more like disconnecting from someone. So maybe for someone was pursuing you romantically or expressed their romantic feelings towards you, but it could have been that you didn't reciprocate their feelings or were not interested in entering into a romantic relationship at the time, so you could have turned down the romantic offer, or it could be vice versa. But honestly, I feel like this energy of the Death card in reverse is coming from someone else, not necessarily from you. There seems to be someone else who is having trouble letting go, or who doesn't want to see the truth of a situation. With emotional, it feels like they're very emotionally attached. It could be to you or to the idea of you, to the idea of being in a relationship with you. And so they're having trouble letting go, emotionally detaching. And if this happens to be someone that you were in a relationship with, but you are currently in separation, or there was a breakup, if it feels like this person wants to continue pursuing you, like they don't want to give up on this relationship yet. They're looking for a second opportunity is the vibe I'm getting with the Death card in reverse. And again, this could be you. Maybe you want a second opportunity, or you want to continue trying at a relationship. You don't want for this to end yet. Yeah, because I'm sensing someone feeling like it's too soon to close this chapter, too soon to bring this to an end. So there's a bit of a struggle here. This energy here doesn't feel negative, like bad to me in any way. It just feels like someone who is struggling to accept a situation or to let go. There's a lot of emotional sensitivity going on here. Feeling emotionally sensitive, feeling emotionally vulnerable. And actually, when I looked at the number 43, what came to mind was working to create stability and security in a relationship, or working to heal, to bring healing into a relationship or connection. So that could be what you guys will be working towards too when it comes to your romantic love life in the month of August. It could be working to heal a heartbreak, or working to maybe even heal a relationship. Maybe this is mutual, because I was getting a lot of mutual reciprocal energy from this group, where maybe there is a strain in a romantic relationship or connection, and both or all parties involved in the connection are not ready to let go. You want to work on healing this relationship, bringing it back to stability, bringing it back to harmony. Yeah, and it's quite interesting, because I am sensing that to be the case for a lot of you guys, where all parties involved in the connection are not ready to let go. You're still emotionally invested in the relationship or connection. You're still wanting and willing to put in the work to make this relationship work. But even though this is how you feel, the way that you are showing up in the 3D shows the complete opposite. So this could be a situation in which your heart and your mind are telling you two different things. Your mind is telling you to let go, to move on, but your heart isn't ready yet. And it's the same thing for the other person. And so I feel like what needs to happen here is for there to be open and honest communication between you both. What is it that you actually want? Not so much what you think you should do or what other people are telling you to do, but what is it that you want for this connection and relationship? Like, be honest and sincere with one another, because I feel like you'll find that both of you want the same thing. I feel that to be the case for the majority of you. Yeah, so maybe this is something about letting or leaving your ego and or your pride aside for a while so that you can be honest with yourself and with the other party involved. Yeah, because with the Death card, I'm getting this feeling of I'm willing to fight for this connection. I'm willing to give it my all. I'm not ready to let go yet. I still have feelings for you. I still care for you. Yeah, and with the Watch being here, it's like, give me more time. Give me time to show you what you mean to me, what this relationship or connection means to me. Yeah, so this is just advice, but if this is your situation, if it's resonating to some degree, don't give this relationship or a connection a chance just because a random tarot reader on YouTube said you should. No, give yourself some time to really go within and ask yourself whether this is a relationship or connection that you're wanting and willing to fight for or to continue working on. Whether you want to give this person a second chance if it is the other person asking for a second chance. Don't do anything just because you think you should, or because other people are telling you to go about it a certain way, or because this other person in the relationship is wanting to. Because I did mention how you guys can be very, very selfless, especially when it comes to love. So remember to also put yourself first. It's not just about the other person and the connection or relationship. It's also about you. Relationships and partnerships are about balance and equilibrium. If the other person is willing but you're not, don't ignore that. This is my personal opinion, but being kind to someone that we care about is being honest with them. Even if that honesty ends up not being what they want to hear or ends up hurting their feelings. Because the intention is not to hurt, the intention is to be honest with them, to set them free through that honesty. Be honest with yourself and be honest with the other person involved in this connection. And for those of you who are not in a romantic relationship, if you were romantically interested in someone, but for whatever reason it wasn't able to work out with this person, in the month of August, you could be processing those feelings and are working to release the idea of being with this person or of it needing to be this person, the one that you end up with. It's like working to close this chapter of your life. Because I am sensing, I keep repeating it, but I'm sensing like an emotional attachment to someone. And that being the reason why it's so hard to let go. Yeah, so you could be in the month of August processing your feelings and releasing and letting go of attachment or of expectation, because I'm getting a very healing energy with the flower. And for those of you who are not romantically interested in someone or have someone specific in mind, I do see this being about you, just the same thing, being honest with yourself about what you feel when it comes to romantic love. No longer denying yourself of what you actually want and desire when it comes to your romantic love life. Allowing yourself to be vulnerable and emotional with yourself. Because I feel like some of you guys have been resisting the ideas of romantic love because you might think it shows a weakness or it takes away from your independence, your individuality, or your growth. But denying what you actually desire and want and or long for when it comes to romantic love is actually creating some form of self-denial. It's actually creating emotional suppression. So it's important to be honest with oneself. Wanting romantic love doesn't make anyone weak. It doesn't make anyone less than. It doesn't make anyone less powerful or less empowered. Wanting to be in a romantic relationship, it's normal. And I mean, we're humans. It's a natural desire to want connection, to want to experience this form of connection. So yeah, allow yourself to be vulnerable with yourself in that way where you accept, hey, this is what I want, this is what I desire, this is what I long for. And again, letting go of the shoulds, the expectations, and really asking yourself, what is it that you want to experience when it comes to romantic love life? It's not what the movies, the romantic movies and our dramas have told you. It's not what your mom, your dad, your family, your friends have told you what romantic love should look like or feel like or be like. It's what you, based on your experience, based on what you know about yourself, what you desire, what is it that you want to experience when it comes to romantic love? What is romantic love to you? What it means to you? Why do you desire it? Why do you long for it? And whatever comes up, know that it's valid. So validate your feelings, validate your needs, and you will find a lot of relief in that. Because with this person in the death card clenching their fist, it feels like there's a lot of like pent up energy, there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of tension. So release. It's okay to release. It's okay to want, to yearn, to long for things. I know that in the spiritual community, it's often said that having desires isn't good. And if you believe in that, remember that the first step to let go of something and to release something completely is to accept it first. So how can we release something that we are denying is there? Right? So if you want to release an emotion, first we must acknowledge that it is there and then accept it so that we can then be able to release it. Yeah, but that's all I'm seeing for the month of August. I will like to quickly go over the zodiac signs, the ones that are standing out to me. So with the death card, we have Scorpio, and I'm also getting water with emotional and the Two of Cups. So Pisces, Cancer, yeah, again, Scorpio, duh. So water signs and or the zodiac sign Scorpio could be of significance. But now I want to move into the last segment of this reading where I'm just gonna pull out some extra oracle cards to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance for each relationship dynamic. So if you are interested in receiving a direct message and or guidance from someone, like the higher self of someone that you have a specific relationship dynamic with, have that person in mind as I'm shuffling the decks to hopefully receive a message from them. So I will start off by pulling a message for your relationship with self. Yeah, so if you're interested in receiving a message from your higher self, for example, then you can set an intention for that. If not, we'll just get a general message when it comes to your relationship with self for the month of August. You could also ask to receive guidance from a spirit guide of yours if you want. Okay, so we have Metamorphosis with you have to grow from the inside out. None can teach you, none can make you spiritual. Ooh. Okay. And now I'm going to pull an extra message and our guidance for your platonic relationships in the month of August. The same thing, if there is someone you have a platonic relationship with that you want to receive a message from, then have that person in mind. Okay, so this one flipped over and we have Mercy. This universe is not outside of you. Look inside yourself. Everything that you want, you already are. And we do have what appears to be a family depicted in this card. We also have a child. And in the Metamorphosis card, we have angels. And or it could be spirit guides or a representation of your higher self. But now I'm going to pull out a message for your romantic love life. Same thing, if there is a romantic partner or a romantic interest that you want to receive a message from, have them in mind as I'm shuffling the deck. Hopefully we'll receive a message from your higher self. So 2 cards flipped over. And we have quest with the spiritual quest begins for most people as a search for meaning. And we also have faith. Don't cry over the past. It's gone. Don't stress about the future. It hasn't arrived. Live in the present and make it beautiful. Aww. I'm noticing that in both cards we have what appears to be moon imagery. So the full moon could be of significance. There will be 2 full moons in the month of August. I believe one at the start of the month and one at the end of the month. Yeah, and full moons make me think of emotional release, purging, cleansing, letting go, and closing cycles. So yeah, you could be working to let go and or bring something to an end or obtain closure from the start of the first full moon in August all the way to the second full moon in August. Yeah, so also something important and or of significance when it comes to your romantic love life could be occurring around the time of the first and or second full moon in August. I'm getting a very melancholic vibe with these 2 cards, and what just came to mind is if you are thinking of someone and wondering if they are thinking of you, the answer is yes, they are also thinking of you, especially at night, during nighttime. They are missing you in the same way that you are missing them. Yeah, so take that how it resonates. Oh, someone brought to my attention that there is going to be a Lionsgate portal in the month of August, which is August 8th. So the Lionsgate portal could also be of significance, or something important could be happening around that time. Yeah, the 2 full moons just made me think of that. Okay, but these are all the messages we have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance and clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching until the very end, and a huge thank you to all of you who took a moment to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, since that is a simple way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. I am wishing you a peaceful, prosperous month of August, and until the next moment, bye-bye. Hello you guys who chose group 2, the combination of the snail with the shark. Bienvenidos to your reading. So when tapping into this group's energy, a message did come to mind, which was looking through the eyes of the divine or of God. And I kept feeling, intuitively sensing, as if I were being told to see, to look. So I'm getting a similar vibe to that of group 1, which is in the month of August, you are going to get a higher perspective on love and relationships. But more specifically for this group, you are going to gain clarity about certain relationships and why they unfolded the way that they did, maybe even why they ended the way that they did, why certain people came into your life, why you formed certain connections, or why were you drawn to certain people and or certain relationships, and so forth. So I do see you gaining a lot of clarity and or insight in the month of August about your relationships. And it could be about love in general, like what love means to you. How have you been showing love in your relationships? How have you been showing up in love? And so forth. Looking at this snail, I'm also getting something like also getting clarity about your journey in love, especially when it comes to romantic love. Like, why has it taken this long, or why it took this long for something to happen, for you to meet your person, or for you to experience romantic love, or why when it comes to your romantic love life, things feel pretty slow, almost stagnant, because that's kind of the vibe I'm getting with the snail. And for some, there could be a question as to why relationships don't pass a certain point, or why they end so abruptly, or why they always end up looking the same. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting with the shark. But those are all specifics, they're examples. But overall, in general, I just see you gaining a higher perspective and thus a lot of clarity and insight about your connections, relationships, and about love in general. Now, when tapping into this group's energy, I kept thinking of group number 3. I haven't even done group 3's reading. So if you were also drawn to group 3, maybe there's an important message there for you. So if you feel called to do so, definitely check out that reading as well. I got something like skim through it. Kind of skip and see where you land, and exactly where you land on group 3's reading, there could be a message there for you. Maybe I'll say something that will be important and or significant or will serve as a confirmation for you. So you don't necessarily have to watch the entire reading if you don't feel called to do so. The word residual also came to mind. It could be that some of you will be working through or working to release residual feelings and or energy in the month of August. But with these 2 cards, I do feel like, especially with all this like murky water here with the dark colors and this snail carrying around their shell, I do get the feeling that some of you might be holding on to and or carrying with you energy of the past that no longer belongs in the here and now. And some of you might be holding on to this or carrying it on, especially into your current and or future relationships, unknowingly. So this could be something like, maybe you catch yourself projecting past experiences in previous relationships onto your current relationships, or you expect for something to turn out exactly how it has in the past when it comes to your relationships. Or if you're meeting someone new, you all of a sudden get a flashback of someone of the past. And there could even be something like unknowingly comparing this past person with this new person that you are meeting for the first time or getting to know. Yeah, but I am now going to read the messages on the back of these cards. So we have Snail with patience. A champion of patience, Snail teaches us to embrace delay. When she is present in our lives, she reminds us to slow down. She teaches us to be wary of fixed, unrealistic deadlines. In our focus to achieve, life may pass us by. She encourages us to appreciate the minutiae. Life is as much about the big moments as it is about the small ones. A gentle guide with a desire to prevail. Snail provides self-protection. Her spiral represents the origin of life. So it just caught my attention as I was reading this message that I kept going on and on about the past. Some of you not being able to shake off the past or comparing your present with past experiences. But for some, it could be that there is a struggle to fully embrace the present moment, because you can't help but compare the here and now with the future, with what could be, with what you are hoping will come into realization, your expectations. So it's like always looking forward to the future, so much so that you're not able to fully appreciate the present. Or it could be a fear of the unknown, the future. Like, if things are going well, what if all of a sudden they go bad? But that's what I got with patience. And with Shark, we have resolve and the message. At no time in Shark's life does he consider weakness an impossibility. He is very aware that this condition is an inescapable facet of life. Unwilling to be a victim of his own ignorance, Shark swims in the certain and uncertain realities of the vast ocean. In his resolve, we learn about acceptance, actuality, and truth. There is nothing more harsh in life than being sideswiped unexpectedly. Shark reminds us of this inevitability. With awareness and resolve, we will endure. Yeah, so there is something here about embracing and accepting the uncertainty, the unknown. As much as we want to prepare for what is to come, we can't fully know for certainty what the future holds. Yeah, so that could be one of the main lessons and or themes for the month of August when it comes to love and relationships. But you guys were drawn to the snail and the shark, so these could be significant and or important animals for the month of August. Maybe these are spirit animals that will be working with you in August, especially when it comes to love and relationships. But I do feel like this is more so representing your energy. I feel like the shark is representing a bit of a defensive energy or wariness, always being on the lookout, having constant vigilance. And the snail is more so representing the pace you feel that you are in, especially when it comes to love and relationships. Maybe you are someone who takes your time to get to know a person, who takes your time to open up to someone. And this could be coming from having really strong boundaries, or it could be coming from this wariness. You know, kind of like dipping your toe in the water just to test it out before you fully dive into the depths. But let us now take a look at what you can look forward to and or expect when it comes to your relationship with self in the month of August. Okay, so this one flew out, and we have number 56 with obsessed, and the key terms consumed, infatuated, and the message, you may be consumed in a situation. Figure out a way to balance any obsessions by stepping back from what consumes you for a moment. Okay? Now I'm going to pull out a clarifier. So when it comes to the relationship with self, we have the Queen of Swords, upright with honest, protective, and quirky. So the Queen of Swords is an air sign, Libra, Gemini, and or Aquarius. So some of you could be a Libra, Sun, Moon, or what? Why did I say Libra? Maybe some of you are a Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising, but what I meant to say is some of you could be an air, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or have air predominant in your birth chart. But it doesn't have to be. This is more so representing the energy that you will be embodying and or exuding in the month of August. So the Queen of Swords is someone who is very blunt, a bit cutthroat, and they have amazing discernment. Yeah, and with the key term protective, as well as with the snake showing up in the obsessed card, I'm getting a very protective energy from the snake. I feel like you guys are very protective of your energy and your personal space, as well as your time. Yeah, so you guys could be pretty reserved, or you choose to be. And you're also very careful and mindful as to who to trust, who to open up to, who to be vulnerable with. I am talking in present tense because I feel the majority of you are already embodying this energy. But if you feel you are not yet in this energy, then this is how you will be showing up sometime in August. So you're not one to take relationships and or connections lightly, especially energy exchange. Because I feel like you guys have learned from previous experiences how not having strong boundaries and or discernment can actually negatively affect your well-being and your energy field, especially your mental well-being, because swords are associated with the mind. So the Queen of Swords is giving me a very magnetic kind of vibe. So I feel like this could be something that you have experienced in the past or for most of your life, or it could be something that you will be experiencing in the month of August. But I do feel like people are attracted to you. It could be because of your appearance, it could be just because of your confidence, maybe your aura, your presence. It could be because people find you to be very mysterious. They want to get to know you more. They want to like crack the code when it comes to you. You know, it could be for many and different things, but I do feel like people are drawn to you. Whether it's consciously or subconsciously, they are drawn to you. And they are not only drawn to you, but I feel like people tend to, again, either consciously or subconsciously want to take from you or pull something from you. And because this is the Queen of Swords, which is associated with intellect, knowledge, wisdom, I'm getting from this Queen of Swords something like someone who gives amazing advice and or counsel or sees things very clearly. And they are able to translate what they see very simplistically. So it's very straightforward. It's very to the point and very, very honest. So For some, it could be that people notice and see that you have something to offer. For example, like advice, like amazing counsel or perspective. And so because they see that what you have to offer or what you have is of value, they could approach you with the intention of receiving this gift from you. And so you could have already caught on to that, or this is something that you are realizing in the month of August, and you are noticing that this really drains you. And it's like, not only are you offering advice and or guidance or perspective or honesty, but people are also, kind of emotionally dumping on you, because it could be a situation in which people reach out to you only when they have problems, only when they are burdened by something, because that's when they need and or seek that advice, that counsel, that perspective. And so it's like you're giving free therapy, free counsel, but you are also absorbing the heavy energy, the emotions, the problems, the problems of others. Because once you hear a problem, you can't unhear it, It's in your mind, it's in your head, it's in your subconscious. So you take that with you. And so what I see happening for the month of August is that you are being very, very selective as to who you interact with, as to who you offer your availability to. And you are implementing your boundaries this month. And I will also say it's not just about implementing your boundaries with others, but I feel like it's also implementing them with yourself, because there is a second interpretation that is coming to mind, and that is, I feel like you guys are thinkers. You're very observant as well as analytical. I feel like you are someone who likes to really break things down, to look at things closely and find the meaning and the reason for every single little thing. And so some of you could tend to get caught up in your head quite a bit, or you can tend to overthink quite a bit. If this resonates with this energy of obsessed, I'm seeing that in the month of August, you are coming to realize these tendencies of yours. Because for some, I feel like this tendency to break something down to the tiniest of details and analyze it, look at it closely and turn it over and over and over in your head could create some form of attachment. Because, okay. So at the beginning, there was a message of you gaining a higher perspective and gaining clarity about why certain relationships came to be, why they ended, and so forth. So I feel like that's a perfect example here that I could give. It's like, if you meet someone, right, or if someone caught your attention, or if you were drawn to someone, this would be a situation in which you wouldn't be able to stop thinking of that person until you found out the reason why you're so drawn to them. And so it can become a bit obsessive. It can become a bit of an attachment to some degree. If this resonates with you, what I'm seeing for the month of August is you coming to really acknowledge these tendencies of yours and create very strong boundaries with yourself, as well as, kind of discern when you're starting to fall into the habit of getting attached to something or hyper focusing on one thing. Because I feel like when you hyper focus, when you become attached to something, you get consumed by it. That's the feeling I'm getting with the energy of, oh my goodness, we literally have the key term consumed here. Like, you get consumed by it. And it kind of like takes up most of your time, most of your energy. Like, even if you're doing other things, you're still thinking about that one thing. Yeah, so again, if you resonate with this, I feel like you have already reached a point in which you acknowledge this, you realize these tendencies and or habits of yours. You're learning how to manage it, or you're learning how to discern when it's starting to happen, so that then you can create pause and keep yourself from kind of going down that rabbit hole. This could even be something like if someone shares their issues, their problems, their worries with you, you aren't someone who just drops it after the conversation is over. you take it home with you. Like, you keep thinking about it. It's like you turn it over and over in your head. So because you know this about yourself, you're being very selective as to how much time you look into something, how much time you give to something. And it doesn't have to be with people. It could even be with interests, hobbies. Like I am someone that when they find a series or a movie, a franchise that I really, really enjoy, I get invested in it. Like, I can spend an entire year just researching on it and, consuming anything that is related to it, kind of getting invested in that world. So when I was in university, I realized this about myself. So when there was finals or when I knew I really had to have my A game on, I tried not to watch any new series or anything that I knew or sensed could catch my interest because I knew that once I got into it, I would be totally invested in it and completely distracted from what was a priority. Yeah, so that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. And I also feel like you guys do have amazing discernment. So like in my example, I feel like you guys would know or intuitively sense like, I get the feeling that this is something that if I get into it, I will get fully invested in it. So, you know what? Maybe I will leave this for a later time. Or maybe not even leave it for a later time. Maybe avoid it completely because you know that that could lead you down a dark rabbit hole. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting when it comes to your relationship with self. Like you're protecting your energy. You're implementing your boundaries, and I feel like you're also taking care of yourself and of your mind. The other thing I'm getting here is like you're not intentionally putting yourself in dangerous situations and or environments. That just came out of nowhere. But like, for example, if you're aware you have certain temptations or harmful tendencies, and you worked really hard to get yourself out of those harmful tendencies, this is you not putting yourself in any situation that would create any type of temptation or get you falling back into those harmful tendencies. Yeah, so just to be very blunt, because we do have the Queen of Swords, this could be speaking about addictions. Because obsession is a form of addiction. Well, at least I believe it is. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing for you guys when it comes to your relationship with self. And I mean, I feel this is pretty powerful because the Queen of Swords is a no BS energy. I feel like the Queen of Swords is also indicating that you've come really far. Like, you've done a lot of inner work. You have a lot of self-awareness. And so you're being very protective, very, very considerate of all the work you have done, of the stability you have created in your world, in your life, and in your mind as well. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing when it comes to your relationship with self. So in other words, I see you being very, very disciplined. I don't know why it took me a long time to say that very bluntly. I see you being quite disciplined, selective, mindful, especially with yourself in the month of August. But now we are going to look at your platonic relationships for this month. So we have slow with number 23, the key term steady, and the message: whatever movements you engage in right now, make sure they are slow as possible. Imagine yourself underwater with every movement you do. Soak in a bath, swim, tai chi, slow. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, etc. And now let me pull out a clarifier. Okay. Oh, so 2 cards fell out. So we have the Page of Swords with curious, clever, and chatty. And we also have the Ace of Wands upright with breakthrough, inspiration, and new direction. There's a lot of cars speeding and their engines are so loud. And I don't know about you guys, but I really don't like that sound. So if you feel the same way and you can hear it, yeah, I feel you and I apologize. I have my window open because it's summer where I'm at and it's very hot. which is why I also have the humidifier on, hoping that it will cool me down a bit. Yeah, but anyways. I think it's pretty interesting that I mentioned speed and engine, because we have this energy of slow, and you guys were drawn to the snail, which is a slow moving creature. So when it comes to your platonic relationships, I do feel like you guys move pretty slow, and it's all very intentional. It's for a reason, because I was talking about you being very mindful and protective of your energy. I feel like you are someone who takes their time getting to know someone. You are someone who takes their time to open up. Yeah, and with the Page of Swords, because we have this energy of like curious and chatty, I feel you guys are very observant. So before opening up to someone, you observe them. You could even be someone who tends to observe people from afar to get an idea as to what their personality, their vibe, before you approach them or before you choose to open up to them. Yeah, and the Page of Swords does represent curiosity, and I do feel like you guys are very, very curious and you're super intelligent. And so what I'm seeing here when it comes to platonic relationships is that with the Ace of Wands, I do feel like someone new is entering your life or making their presence known in your life, or there is a new relationship forming this month. Yeah, because we have this Traveler, so I do feel like it's someone new entering your life. And I do get the feeling that you guys are quite interested in this person. There's something about them that, calls to you. You're drawn to them, and so you really want to get to know more about them. And what I was going to say with the Page of Swords is that this could be a situation in which I'm seeing something like you getting an opportunity to speak with this person and you letting this person do all the talking. And all that you're doing is observing, getting a feel of this person. And what I see here is it could be you, or it could also be this other person who is being very selective as to what kind of questions they are asking. Like the questions being asked throughout this conversation you are having with one another are very, very intentional. It's to get to know the other person on a deeper level. It's kind of to pick their brains a bit, to find out what the other is all about. I do see you getting to know someone very, very slowly and opening up to someone quite slowly as well. I mean, I did say this is a new person that will be entering your life in the month of August, but if someone new has recently entered your life and this is someone that you're slowly getting to know, then this could be the very person we are speaking about in this reading, and this is just indicating that in the month of August, this getting to know one another will continue. And it will continue to be a slow and steady process. And because we do have this energy of breakthrough with the Ace of Wands, it could be that you will be reaching breakthroughs in this relationship or connection in the month of August. Like maybe this person is getting you to open up about something very personal, or you're getting this person to open up about something very personal, or you're reaching a new level of intimacy, having a deeper, more intimate conversation with one another. Yeah, but with this like fluctuation here, I feel like there's a lot of breakthroughs in this relationship and our connection, and these breakthroughs are so significant because this relationship or connection is unfolding so slowly and so steadily. Like you're really taking your time to get to know one another, and so every time one of you opens up, allows themselves to be vulnerable with the other, it's a pivotal moment. Because it's very revealing. It's like peeling, I'm being reminded of Shrek and the onion. It's like peeling the layers of the onion. So it's like every time a new layer is peeled off, it's like, wow, there's so many layers to you. There's so much to get to know about you. And every layer I discover is so interesting. I want to keep peeling more and more layers. I want to keep getting to know you. That's the vibe I'm getting with these two cards. Yeah, because the Ace of Wands also speaks about like passion, and we do have like this energy of inspiration. So yeah, I feel like someone is catching your interest in the month of August. Or if someone has already caught your interest, in this is the person that you're slowly getting to know more about. I see you getting to know more about this person in the month of August, and you getting to know very important details and or facts about them that get you even more intrigued about them. And because we do have this work setting, some of you could be meeting this person, or you have met this person at work or in a work-like environment or situation, or you could have met them through work, in other words. But it doesn't have to be the case. Because I'm also seeing traveling with the Ace of Wands. So maybe you met this person while you were traveling, or while you were on a trip, or while you were out from town, or went out, maybe just went out with friends or on your own. But because we do have the Page of Swords here and the Ace of Wands, again, it's making me think of travel, of long distance. This could also be someone that you met online. Yeah, and maybe that's why you're a bit cautious as to how much you reveal to this person, how much you open up to them, because it is an online interaction. Yeah, so this slow pace could also be talking about like slow communication. Like you send a DM, a text, an email, whatever it may be, and they might take a while to reply. But there is a back and forth. It's just, I feel like it's not so constant. But even though it's not so constant, like it's not like back and forth super quickly, every reply, it's very meticulous. It's very in-depth. So like every reply reveals something more and gets more in-depth, deeper. So it could be like the conversation delves into deeper topics, or like the messages get longer, more detailed. Yeah, because we do have the Page of Swords, the Ace of Wands. I feel like the conversations between you both are very, very intriguing. I feel like both of you are quite intellectually compatible, and even though you might have different interests, I feel like that in itself is very intriguing, that you have different interests. Because even though they're not your interests, you are interested to get to know more about what this other person is into. Yeah, and I feel like this person expands your mind. Because we do have the number 23 here, and if I look at the numbers individually, the number 2 is a number of partnerships. And the number 3 speaks about expansion and growth. So I feel like this is a partnership or relationship that will help you grow, like grow your minds, grow your perspective on things, get you thinking outside of the box, as well as get you out of your comfort zone. And it could be like get you out of your comfort zone intellectually, like in terms to your beliefs, your ideas of what is and isn't. But it could also be getting you out of your comfort zone in terms to experiences. Yeah, because with new direction, this could also be someone who opens up your mind to new possibilities and gets you thinking of moving in a new direction. It's not like this person is instigating these ideas into your head. It's more so that they are sharing their world with you. They are sharing their experiences with you. Because what I was going to say is that I feel this person who is catching your interest is someone who is very well traveled, someone who has met a lot of people, someone who has a lot of life experience. And maybe that's why you find them so intriguing, because they do have a lot of stories to tell, and they tell them very well, is what I'm getting. They're a really good communicator. They have a way with words. They could speak very slowly, or they could have like a very soft voice, or there's something about their voice that's very enchanting, at least to you. Like there's something about their voice or something about the way that they speak that really pulls you in. So I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, I feel like this is someone who's, just by sharing with you their experiences, their beliefs, their perspectives and perceptions on life, it gets you thinking about the world and your life and your trajectory very differently. And I feel like this person inspires you to rethink what is and isn't possible. And so this whole rethinking could actually end up in you redirecting yourself or moving your life in a new direction. And I will say, for those of you who aren't seeing anyone, who aren't in a committed relationship, with this energy of slow and steady, I feel like this relationship has the potential to move onto a romantic relationship. It is a possibility because I'm getting a very open vibe when it comes to this connection. Like, this relationship, this connection can go anywhere. It can become anything. It's not something that is set in stone. Yeah, I did speak about one person in specific, but in general, this does let us know that when it comes to platonic relationships, you are one who takes their time to, open up to someone or let someone in your life in that way where they are a part of your life now, where they do get an insight, a look into your private world. Yeah, and something that just came to mind is that the energy of gossip and like talking behind someone's back, engaging in rumors and so forth really turns someone off. It could be you, or it could be this person we have been speaking about, or it could be both of you. Like, it's a real turn off. Like that's the red flag. Like, maybe this person is not someone I really want to exchange energies with or engage a lot with. But the Page of Swords is an air sign again, Libra, Aquarius, and or Gemini. And the Ace of Wands is a fire sign, so Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. Ooh, sorry. The other thing I'm getting is that, I don't know why, but I get the feeling that this person here, for some of you, this is someone who is at a distance from you, physical distance from you. Maybe this is someone who was physically near you at some point, but then they had to travel. It could be for work or personal matters, and you've been wondering about them, like how they're doing and stuff like that. And with the Page of Swords being here with this person eavesdropping, it could be that you will be hearing news about them through other people. Maybe you're overhearing something about them in the month of August that is bringing you much relief or insight about what is going on in their life. Yeah, because I do get this feeling of someone observing someone else from afar. But I feel like this person, if they are at a distance from you, they are coming back, or they are making their way to you, or to where you are at. Maybe in the month of August, or maybe more towards the end of the year. Yeah, because we do have 23 here. So this is making me think of the year 2023. So it will be within this year. If it's not in the month of August, it could be more towards the end of the year, but it will definitely be within this year. Yeah, and I feel like this is also indicating that you will reach a major breakthrough in this connection and a relationship within this year. Some of you could even be confessing to this person, or they to you. Confessing something or confessing your feelings toward one another within this year. Yeah, so take that how it resonates. But now I'm going to move into your romantic love life. Okay, so sorry, I got sidetracked. I was gonna say the seasons, summer and winter, could be of significance when it comes to this connection and or platonic relationships. But yeah, we have the number 65 with yawn and boredom, and the message: there's a situation that no longer needs your attention. There is boredom that is to be reached, so say goodbye for now. This may also be an indication that you need more sleep. Whatever the case, it's time to take a break from any monotony, whether in thoughts, people, or situations. And we also, okay. Sorry, I have to censor this one, YouTube policies. But we have the number 70 with penetration, infiltration, the key terms impose and access, and a message: there is strong energy trying to enter into your energy space in some way. It's a strong force you may not expect. There may also be a need for you to feel it necessary to impose yourself in a situation and make yourself known. Okay, so this one flipped over, the Six of Cups, upright with nostalgia, old friends, and innocence. So these two cards right off the bat, when I saw them together, what I thought was, so there's a reason why you are being so protective of your energy, or feel the need to be in the month of August. The Six of Cups speaks about the past, people of your past relationships. It also speaks about childhood, memories of your childhood. The Six of Cups is also often associated with the energy of soulmates. So more specifically, people or souls you have a connection to because you either shared another life with them or your energies resonate. I'm getting multiple interpretations. Bear with me if you want to bear with me as I go through all of them. But for some, especially for those of you who are in a committed relationship, this is indicating that someone of your past, especially someone of your childhood, is making a reappearance in your life in the month of August. This could be someone you were romantically involved with in the past. Or if you weren't romantically involved with them, maybe you were romantically interested in them or they in you in the past. But because we do have this energy of yawn and infiltration, I don't see this connection or relationship developing any further than just what has already transpired. So this could be a situation in which someone you used to have romantic feelings for is making a reappearance in your life in the month of August, and you're realizing that you no longer have feelings for them, or you're no longer romantically interested in them, or they don't have the same effects on you that they once did. And so this could be assisting with you fully letting go of this relationship or of the what if. Maybe at some point you thought this was the person that got away, but then them making a reappearance in your life in the month of August, you're realizing that no one got away. We just went our separate ways, or it just was never meant to be, and it wasn't meant to be for a reason, and now I realize why. Yeah, and that could be that higher perspective we were speaking of at the beginning. Maybe seeing this person again, you realize how different you are, or how you aren't really compatible. Like the things that you weren't able to see in the past, now that you have created distance from this person, now that you have had your own life experiences apart from this person, you are now able to see them, like the reasons why this never came to be or why it didn't work out. And so that's kind of like releasing you of the past, or it's allowing for you to completely move on from the past. And this could be the very thing that you guys were carrying on with you. This could be the relationship that you kept projecting onto your current relationship, or the relationship you kept looking back to, whether you intended to or not. It just kept popping back up. So I do see closure occurring in the month of August. But with this energy of infiltration, I feel like, at least this is the way it's coming through for me, how I'm sensing the energy, is that you, in the month of August, are realizing that you have moved on from this person, but this other person might be experiencing the opposite from you. They could be realizing that they did have feelings for you at some point, especially if this was like a one-sided thing where you were interested in this person and this person wasn't interested in you in the past. Yeah, this person is coming to realize in the month of August that they were interested in you, or they did have feelings for you, but at that time they weren't able to accept it or to see it, or something kept them from embracing the feelings they had for you. Or it could be that if they were interested in you in the past, in them seeing you again, feelings of the past resurface. Or they could be taking a new interest in you. But it feels, with the Six of Cups, it feels very childlike. It feels like a crush, like it's giving me a bit of an escapist vibe. Maybe this person is going through something difficult at the time that you see them again. And because you do have memories together, them seeing you is a bit nostalgic and also quite comforting, because there is a familiarity between you both. And this could be a situation in which you remind this person of simpler times. And so they could be more attached to that feeling rather than them being romantically invested in this connection. And with this energy of yawn and penetration and infiltration, I feel like you guys are catching up on that. Like you sense that this person is going through something, that maybe they are clinging on to the past, or they want to relive the past in order to escape the now. And so you're not really enabling and entertaining this kind of energy. You're kind of putting a stop to it, or you, like as mentioned, placing your boundaries right from the start. Like you're making it clear where you stand right from the start. Yeah, so you might need to like really, be quite blunt with this person and let this person know your intentions and where you stand. Because if you're quite ambiguous with this person will maybe misinterpret things. Yeah, because the vibe I'm getting with this Six of Cups and like penetration is someone who is ignoring the hints that are being given to them. Yeah, so you might feel called to implement very strong boundaries when it comes to this person. In other words, be quite upfront with them. Be very blunt with them if you're not interested in forming a romantic relationship with them or in developing a romantic relationship with this person. Yeah, because, the Six of Cups did show up upright, so I do feel like there is a connection between you both. It could be a connection formed by memories, the memories you share with one another. And I don't feel like this person has any negative intentions or anything like that. Yeah, so whereas this connection here, this platonic relationship, could turn into a romantic one, I feel like this, what seems to be like a romantic interest, but not really, could turn into a beautiful platonic relationship. But I feel like that's all if like there is open communication and if there is honesty about what the intentions are. Yeah, this could stay a beautiful platonic relationship, or it could turn into a beautiful platonic relationship. This could even be a situation in which you feel someone to be like a soulmate, and maybe because you do feel this strong connection to someone, you immediately assume that it's meant to be romantic, but then you give it a go and you find out that no, this relationship, it's meant to stay platonic. Yeah, so that could be the case for some, like friendship that you maybe thought was meant to be romantic or could turn romantic. You're realizing that it was always meant to just be platonic. That's what I am getting with these when it comes to your romantic love life. So now I'm going to move into the last segment of this reading, where I'm going to pull out some extra oracle cards to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance for each relationship dynamic. If you feel called to do so, if you want to, you could also set an intention to receive a direct message from the higher self of anyone that you have one of these relationship dynamics with. But I will first pull out a message for your relationship with self. So in this case, you can set an intention to receive a message from your higher self or from a spirit guide of yours, if you feel called to do so. So let's see, what advice and or guidance do we have when it comes to your relationship with self? So we have creation. Keep putting out good. It will come back to you tenfold in unexpected ways. Okay? And now I'm going to pull out a card for your platonic relationships. And 2 cards fall out. So we have energy with the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Interesting. Because the Ace of Wands does speak of new beginning, and especially new passionate beginnings. And then we also have partnership with each of us are angels with only one wing, and we can only fly by embracing one another. So I definitely do see a significant partnership and or connection unfolding for you guys. One that is starting off as a platonic relationship and could remain a platonic relationship, or for those of you who are interested, could develop into something more. Okay, but now I'm going to pull out a message for your romantic love life. If by any chance there is someone that you're romantically interested in, or you are in a romantic relationship with, that you want to receive a message from, have that person in mind. Ooh, that was quick. So we have clarity. With the space between your thoughts is a window to the cosmic mind. And I don't know why, I just got a strong feeling of past lives or other lives from this card. Maybe some of you guys are getting a flashback or a glimpse into another life. It could be a life that you shared with this person that we were speaking about when it came to your romantic love life. Or if you are in a romantic committed relationship, maybe you're getting a flashback or a sneak peek into another life that you shared with your current romantic partner. Okay, something just came up. I never feel called to do this in my readings. I've seen Carrie from the channel Keynote Tarot do this in her readings. Yeah, this might be of relevance or importance to some, but I'm noticing we have two words that start with the letter C, and I'm being nudged to point it out because the letter C could be of significance for some. Maybe someone's name starts with the letter C, or someone's initials has the letter C in it. But these are all the messages we have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance and clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching until the very end, and a huge thank you to all of you who took a moment to watch the ads or just let them play in the background, since that is a simple way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. I am wishing you a very peaceful and prosperous month of August for you and for your loved ones as well. And until the next moment, bye bye. Hello you guys who chose group 3, the Peacock. Bienvenidos to your reading. So when tapping into this group's energy, the message that came to mind was keeping your head down. But you guys were drawn to the peacock, which is an animal that symbolizes standing out, being seen, keeping your head held high. It's an animal that represents confidence, and to its extreme can represent arrogance and or cockiness. So the duality here is quite interesting, and therefore I feel I can interpret this energy in various ways. So if in your relationships you are someone who tends to keep quiet or hold yourself back from showing all of your colors, or you struggle with feeling confident in your connections and or relationships, or you feel uncomfortable with being seen, then maybe feeling confident in your relationships, in your connections, in your interactions with others is something that you desire. And or there could be this desire to be seen, to stand out. Yeah, because I'm also picking up on a bit of insecurity, or this tendency to compare oneself with others. And it could be this comparison tendency that creates and or encourages a lot of feelings of insecurity. Not feeling comfortable to just show up and be yourself and feel good enough without external validation or without constant reassurance from others. So if this resonates with you, I feel that for the month of August, when it comes to your connections and relationships, these insecurities and or tendencies to compare yourself or to shut yourself down with thoughts and or feelings of not being good enough or not feeling like you have it in you to stand out is really gonna come up to the surface in the month of August, so that you can address it. Really see why this belief, these feelings, these insecurities and or tendencies are there. When did they start? Where did they come from? What triggers them, what enables them, what encourages them, and so forth. Because you weren't born with these insecurities. They were learned or adopted in some period of your life. Yeah, and for others, I feel like you have been working on building your confidence and or learning what confidence means for you. And so what I see happening in the month of August, for those who this message resonates more with, is that you are learning a balance and or to differentiate and or discern confidence versus arrogance. You know, feeling proud of yourself versus being prideful. And I also see a lot of you guys learning what it means to be humble, because I feel like oftentimes humbleness is confused with being submissive. Yeah, so you could be learning the difference between both of them in the month of August and seeing where you stand, seeing what the relationship with your ego is, and whether if in your relationships you are showing up in confidence, in self-assuredness, or whether you are showing up with, I will say it because it's how it's coming through, an inflated ego. Because with the Peacock, I am getting a bit of a wounded ego that is being masked with defensive mechanisms of, this is not me putting up walls, this is me setting my boundaries. This is not me shutting people down or shutting people out, this is me being selective. This is not me being fearful of rejection or being looked down upon, this is me standing my ground. So this could also be representing something like someone whose fears are making them feel and or believe that everyone is out to get them, or if someone or something doesn't agree with them, it's a personal attack, when in reality it isn't. Yeah, so this energy I just described could be representing your energy for the month of August, but it could also be indicating the energy of someone who will be surrounding you and are playing an important role in your life in the month of August. Someone you have some type of relationship dynamic with. But I'm gonna read the message that is on the back of this card. So we have Peacock with triumph and the message, brilliant, bold, and beautiful. Peacock reminds us of life's glory, emanating vibrancy as he wanders. Peacock symbolizes confidence. He encourages us to embrace every moment in life, simple or extravagant. With Peacock as guide, we are reminded to step boldly into life and welcome its beauty. With genuine grit, an open spirit, and a heart of fire, our lives become connected and divine. Every instant becomes an occasion to shine, every day a triumph. Okay? So now I'm going to pull out some cards to find out what it is that you can look forward to and or expect when it comes to your relationship with self in the month of August. So we have the Queen of Wands in reverse with overbearing, demanding, and spiteful. And actually was supposed to pull out this oracle card first. And we have overstimulated with number 55, the key phrase spread thin, and the message, you may be working too hard. Within work or a relationship, take a moment to understand what is overstimulating your mind or body. So the tarot card was meant to serve as a clarifier, and this oracle card as the overall energy. So it's interesting how the Queen of Wands fell out in reverse, because the Queen of Wands, when it is upright, it indicates confidence. Someone who is sure of themselves, someone who is standing in their power, because they are self-empowered. So the Queen of Wands is someone who can be very charming, very charismatic, very magnetic. You know, this is the kind of energy that when it enters a room, all eyes are on them because they don't demand attention. They command it simply by being themselves. So with the Queen of Wands showing up in reverse, I do see you guys working in the month of August to build your confidence. And like I said, I feel like a lot of you guys are learning what it means to be confident, because we talk a lot about, being confident and believing in yourself and loving yourself and so forth. But I don't know how many of us really get to sit down with ourselves and really ask ourselves, well, okay, what does confidence mean to me? What does a confident person look like? And so if you have yet to ask yourself these questions, I do see you asking yourself these kind of questions in the month of August, finding your own definition to these specific words that are often thrown around when it comes to like the healing journey and personal growth and so forth. Like for example, when we talk about having boundaries, this would be understanding first of all, what it means to have a boundary, and second, how to apply and or implement those boundaries. Because the Queen of Wands can also represent, especially with this image here of someone, being an activist, standing up for oneself. So the questions that might arise in the month of August would be something like, what does it mean to stand up for myself? How does that look like? When am I standing up for myself, and when am I reacting out of fear and insecurities? Because with overstimulated here, I'm getting something like someone being triggered. And because they are triggered, they react instead of respond. Yeah, so with the message, take a moment to understand what is overstimulating your mind or your body. I feel like in the month of August, it's about taking a moment to really understand what are your triggers. Because the Queen of Wands, when it is in reverse, it indicates an energy that is coming from a space of low self-esteem, insecurities. So in the month of August, you could also become very aware of your wounded ego and how this wounded ego or these wounds of the ego have been showing up in your life, and especially have been showing up in your relationship with yourself. Because there could also be some things that you do that trigger you, that might result in you being very demanding of yourself, lashing out on yourself, being very highly critical of yourself. We have this key term spiteful, and this does give me the vibe of someone who tends to be very harsh with themselves, someone who finds fault in almost everything that they do, who is never quite satisfied with how they are showing up, what they are doing, with who they are as an individual. Yeah, and because we do have this overstimulated card, in the month of August, you could be very self-aware of yourself, almost to the point where you're being very self-conscious of what you do and don't do, how you react and how you respond, and how you feel in your body. There's also something with the overstimulated card. I'm seeing someone who is very aware of bodily sensations or of their body posture, their movements, their facial expressions. And maybe some of you are already quite familiar with this. Maybe this is something that you are already going through. So because we do have the number 55 here, and the number 5 to me indicates changes, unexpected and very transformative changes. Oh, and what just came to mind was unconventional changes. So I feel like the month of August, you will be experiencing something very similar. Yet there is a difference here, there is a change, because whereas before you might have just been hard on yourself, in the month of August, you are being very aware of yourself, but being less judgmental, being less critical. So instead of being self-conscious, I see you becoming more self-aware, right? Because self-awareness, I feel, comes without the whole judgment and being self-critical. It's just you being aware of yourself, so that you can better understand yourself, so that you can better work with yourself. So that's more of the energy I see you coming into. Learning more about yourself and, taking more and more accountability and responsibility for how you react to your triggers, how you react to the stimuli around you, how you respond to others and or to other people's reactions. Because there's a lot of things that will be out of our control. But one of the things that will always and can always be in our control, under our management, is how we show up, how we choose to respond, and how we choose to react. And I all of a sudden felt quite frustrated hearing that. So maybe some of you guys didn't like hearing that. And maybe it's frustrating to hear because we know deep down that there is truth to it. We can acknowledge when something isn't fair. We can acknowledge when there is something that we don't like and we don't agree with. I mean, it's perfectly fine. But how we choose to respond to that, that is a choice. The only person responsible for how we show up in the world is us. So in the month of August, I do see this realization of, hey, I do have a say in how I show up. The world didn't make me a certain way, and I don't have to allow for the world and or others to shape me into who I am or to say who I will be, because I get to be the one who shapes me. I get to be the one who chooses who I am and who I will be. Yeah, so what I'm also seeing here is taking accountability and responsibility for yourself without the self-blame, without the shame, and without the judgment. And without that burden of shame, judgment, self-criticism, and so forth, that's when we stand in our power, because that's when we start to really feel self-empowered. You know, it's like I'm not choosing to heal myself and or better myself because I am ashamed of who I am or because I need to prove something to someone else. No, I'm doing this because I want to feel good within myself. And I resonate with this energy. And this, I'm sharing like a personal experience here in case it will resonate with someone. But when I was becoming very aware of my insecurities and what I perceived to be my flaws, I was in a place of hurt and pain, and it was very easy for me to get triggered by things because I was so aware of what was hurting me. It's like once we become aware of what is hurting us, then we become so aware of anything that aggravates it. You know, it's like a paper cut that we can't ignore once we know that it's there. So this month could be a sensitive time for you guys because you are identifying your triggers and your reactions and our responses to these triggers. And are we being too hard on ourselves? Are we still shaming ourselves for things that we need to give ourselves love for and forgive ourselves for? Yeah, so that's what I see when it comes to your relationship with self. But now I'm going to move into your platonic relationships. So we have number 32 with look, strong eyes, and watchful, and the message: use your eyes to see all that they can see. Your sight may be extra heightened right now. Examine everything about your surroundings, how your body moves, how your partner's body moves, the details in your space of rest. There may also be an energy near you that is very watchful. Yeah, I feel like this month you guys are being super observant, very, very aware, not only of yourself, but also of others in your surroundings. With look, I get this feeling of someone constantly observing others to see how they are, to see how others are responding to them, to their behavior. Sort of like, we have the King of Swords upright with intelligent, head over heart, and logical. Yeah, sort of like analyzing oneself through the reactions and responses of others. Yeah, so there is something here about being very aware of others. With look, I'm getting something like looking to others for confirmation or for reassurance or for validation. The King of Swords could be representing the energy of someone you have a platonic relationship with that will be playing a significant role in your life in the month of August. So the King of Swords is very analytical, very observant, and I'm getting a very matter-of-fact type of vibe from this King of Swords. So the King of Swords is an air sign, Libra, Gemini, and or Aquarius. This person could be an air, sun, moon, or rising, or have air predominant in their chart, but they don't have to. This is more so the energy they will be embodying and or exuding in the month of August. Or what I'm getting in specific, this is how you are seeing this person. So it's not necessarily that this person is actually a King of Swords or is showing up as a King of Swords, but it's more so how you are interpreting this person. You're interpreting them as a King of Swords, someone who is very intelligent, someone who has a lot of integrity. So this King of Swords could be someone that you look up to, someone that you aspire to be, or someone who you think is always right or always does the right thing. And so you constantly look up to them or look to them for confirmation, reassurance, or validation. Or you could look to them for advice and counsel because you value their opinion. That's what I'm getting. This could even be something like their opinion of you really matters to you. And again, this is how you see this person. This is not to say that this King of Swords knows everything or that they are always right or that their perception of you is who you are. And if it resonates with you that there is someone in your life who you look up to or who you always go to for advice and guidance because you truly value their opinion, or you feel reassured by their validation because you believe them to be someone who always does the right thing, then I'm not sure whether you have this person in high regards because you see in them qualities that you wish to embody yourself because you admire them, because they inspire you, or if you've learned to put this person's opinion above yours. Because, for example, this King of Swords could be someone that you grew up with. And so they taught you, or you were taught to look up to this person. Because either they were older than you, they had more experience than you, or because they were always lecturing you. Because this could be like an authoritative figure or a caregiver, caretaker in your life, a mentor, someone that taught you, someone that took care of you. Because, you know, as children growing up, we learn to look up to, maybe not look up to, but pay the most attention to the person who brought us up, because they're the ones who are constantly teaching us, or we're learning from them by observing them. So that could be the situation for some. And so this could even be like a subconscious thing where without you really noticing it or being aware of it, you're still looking to this person for permission or for validation. You're still thinking of this person as someone who knows everything or who knows what is best for you. And it could be this dynamic of, you know, putting someone on a pedestal or valuing someone else's opinion above yours that is creating a lot of insecurity within you. Or maybe even an inferiority complex, feeling less than or not feeling good enough. Yeah, because with look, I'm getting this feeling of someone looking at someone else to observe how to behave, or what is the right way to behave, what is the right way to act and to react and to be. Yeah, so if this resonates with you, I feel in the month of August, this is being brought to your awareness. Because this King of Swords, or this person you are looking up to or are observing, doesn't have to be someone who is in your life or someone you have a close relationship to. This could be someone that you are admiring or observing from afar. Because this is in the section of platonic relationships. And platonic relationships, for me, at least the intention I put into this reading, could be like from family members to friendships to co-workers to colleagues to like business partnerships and so forth. So this could be someone that you like know of, maybe even like a public figure that you look up to, or someone who you admire for their work ethic, for their accomplishments, and so you're kind of observing them to learn from them. And I mean, that's not a bad thing. There's a lot of people who do that, like observe the people that they admire and or who inspires them so that they could learn from them. And so that could be what you are doing in the month of August. But I do strongly feel, especially with what we saw with your relationship with self and what was coming through with the Peacock, is that if not careful, this could go to an extreme of ending up comparing yourself to this person, or ending up feeling inferior to this person because there is that comparison. Because you are not just being inspired by this person, you are now starting to put them on a pedestal. And so by putting them on a pedestal, you are automatically putting yourself down just by having this perception of them being above you, better than, or them being the ultimate of something that you believe to be super important. So there is a heads up to be very, very careful with that. And maybe in the month of August, some of you are becoming aware of whether you are doing this. Because this King of Swords, they are just a King of Swords. They have nothing to do with you, and they say nothing about you. No matter what their opinions of you might be, they are their own person and you are your own person. And so their journey, their successes, their achievements, they have nothing to do with what you are doing and are creating or are achieving, whether this person inspired you or not. Because you are your own person and your journey is your journey, which is why it's often advised to not compare ourselves with others or compare our journey with others, because it doesn't make sense to do so, because no two people are alike, and so no two journeys are gonna be alike. So comparing them is a bit unfair, and it doesn't really make sense. Yeah, so there could be a lesson this month of realizing how often do you look outside of you for validation, for confirmation, and whether you see yourself through the eyes of others, and how often do you do that? Because remember, other people's perception of you doesn't really say much of who you are. It's just how they perceive you, and different people are going to perceive you differently based on their own experiences, based on their own beliefs. So it's important to have a healthy perception of self. You know what this is making me think of? It's like that narrative or storyline about heroes or false idols. When you really look up to someone because you have idealized them, you have this idea of them, and you want to be them, or you live through their teachings. But then once you get to know them, once you get to interact with them, you realize that, okay, they are not this perfect version that I have envisioned in my mind. They are also human. They also have flaws. They are also learning, growing, and healing. And they have some perspectives or beliefs that, now looking at them, I don't really align with them. And this is not to say that this King of Swords isn't someone amazing or admirable, because they are. But that's not to say that this is someone that is above you, or that you need to place above yourself or place on a pedestal, because in doing so you're ignoring you. In observing them or looking up to them, you are putting yourself in the back burner, and that is not helping you grow. That is not helping your relationship with yourself, and that is not helping build your confidence. Becoming this person isn't going to make you confident. It's just gonna enforce this idea that who you are is not enough. And I keep talking about a person, a single person that you might be putting on a pedestal, but this could also be a very general energy where maybe it's not one person that you look up to, but you might look to others and find different qualities that you admire about them and compare yourself to those qualities. It's like with look, it's this feeling of constantly looking outside of you and being distracted by what you see outside of you, so much so that you don't take time to look within, to notice your admirable qualities. And I just noticed if we reduce the number 32, we get 5. So there's a lot of 5s in your spread. So you could be seeing a lot of repeated 5s in the month of August, or maybe you are a life path number 5, or you were born in the month of May. And if so, this is serving as a confirmation. But again, the number 5 is a number of changes, transformative, and I did mention unconventional changes. So this could be an indicator that your soul is asking for you to make some changes in your life, especially about your perception of yourself and in your mindset. Because the other thing I'm getting here is that there could be people around you, in your platonic relationships, or people that maybe you briefly interact with, who look to you or look at you or see you as this King of Swords. There could be people who are observing you and learning from you. It's like this could be a situation in which there are so many people in your platonic relationships who admire you and who recognize your amazingness, your intellect, your intelligence, your brilliance, but then you yourself have difficulty seeing it in yourself. I'm also getting something like you're recognizing everything that you are in others, but you continuously fail to recognize it in yourself. You are failing to see in yourself what you see in others. So if you would just take the time to look within and really, look within and, be with yourself and get to know yourself, ask yourself the deep, meaningful, intimate questions, you will see that you already are everything that you saw in others that you admired. Yeah, and for some, you know, if there is someone that you admire who is very much like the King of Swords, you might not be very aware of it because you're so busy paying attention to this person, observing them, looking up to them, that this person is also looking at you. They're also admiring you. They're also observing you and learning from you. I'm being reminded of that idiom. What you are wishing for is wishing for you too. Or what you are looking for is looking for you too. Yeah, so you stand out to the person who stands out to you. Yeah, so give yourself more credit. It's nice that you see the admirable qualities in others, but it would also be very nice if you admired yourself. Others shine, but you do too. You definitely do. Okay, but now I'm going to move into romantic love. So we have number 75 with going through changes, cycles, new beginnings, and the message, change can be difficult, but it is necessary right now. It may be nothing but struggles leaving you feeling too many emotions at once, but there will be a reward. Trust the process. All the changes you openly accept will make each step less strenuous. Just go with the flow. So this is making me think of the Wheel of Fortune in tarot. Yeah, and I was going on about changes with the number 5, so that is being confirmed here. You might first experience a very unexpected and unconventional change in your romantic love life before you experience any changes in other areas of your life. Okay, so we have Justice upright with cause and effect, truth, and get what is deserved. So Justice is associated with the zodiac sign Libra, and we did have the King of Swords here, which is an air sign. So Libra could be an important and or significant zodiac sign, and or Libra season could be an important time for some of you guys. And again, we have the number 5 here in 75. Yeah, so I don't know, the number 5 could be of significance for some. Yeah, but when it comes to your romantic love life, I do see new beginnings. Justice, it literally indicates partnerships, commitments. The Justice card is associated with the 7th house in astrology, which is the house of long-term partnerships, commitment, agreements, marriage. Yeah, if you are currently in a committed relationship, I do see there being a new beginning in your relationship. It could be that your relationship dynamic is changing and or transforming. So this could be indicating like a higher level of commitment, or it's just you're entering a new era when it comes to your relationship. So as mentioned, the dynamic between you and your partner could be changing. And because we do have the Justice card here, I do see it being a change for the better, or to be more specific, because that's pretty vague, it's like a change that would lead to more harmony, reciprocity, balance in the connection and a relationship. Because Justice is the scales, you know, it's all about balance. But the Justice card also speaks about respect. So I also see there being respect, mutual respect, and something also about admiration in your connection and a relationship. And again, we have in this Justice card like this imagery of activism, you know, standing up for oneself or standing up for someone's rights. But whereas in the Queen of Wands, we had it in reverse, the Justice card is upright. So there is also something here about entering this new cycle in your romantic love life where you feel secure enough and safe enough in your relationship to speak your truth, to speak your mind, to advocate for yourself. Yeah, so if in the past you struggled with speaking your truth or speaking up for yourself because you didn't want to disrupt the peace or make anyone upset, what I see happening in the month of August is that you are feeling more and more okay and comfortable with shaking things up a little bit. And it's not in a way where it's about creating chaos. It's more so about including yourself in the relationship by acknowledging that your needs are also as important as the needs of the other person in the connection. So instead of having fights, there will be disagreements. There will be arguments. Instead of talking over one another and there being yelling, there is open communication. Honest, and at time maybe even a little too direct, but it's still communication. It's still one person communicating their feelings, their emotions, their upsets, whilst the other is listening and then switching. Every person, every party in the connection gets an opportunity to speak their truth. And justice also makes me think of responsibility and accountability, because we do have this key phrase, cause and effect. So when it comes to your romantic love life, all parties involved in the connection are taking accountability and responsibility for their own actions. There's none of that blaming someone else for something having gone wrong or blaming someone else for their own mistakes. No, everybody is taking accountability and responsibility for their actions, for their choices. Yeah, so I see you entering a chapter in your romantic love life where you can let your significant other know what upset you, what hurt you, what you were not okay with. Like, you could implement your boundaries, right? Let them know what your boundaries are. And your partner is listening. They are respecting your needs. And you are doing the same for your partner, because justice is mutual. It's not just one person doing all the work. It's all parties involved to create that equality. And because we do have this flower here, I feel like these changes are allowing for a lot of growth and prosperity in your relationship or connection. And I feel like you're experiencing these changes in your romantic relationship because there's a lot of changes occurring individually. Like, you are going through changes in your individual journey, in your inner world, in your way of thinking, and your significant other is also going through changes in their inner world, in their way of thinking. And you are bringing those changes into your relationship. And I'm seeing something here like both of you are willing and open to change. There is a wanting and a willingness to evolve and to grow together. And for those of you who are single, and especially if you have been single for a while, there is a change occurring in your romantic love life where your relationship status is changing. So from being single to being in a relationship. And justice speaks about counterparts, people who balance each other out. Yeah, so if you are single, it's very, very likely and possible that in the month of August, you will be entering into a relationship or meeting someone who balances you out, someone who keeps you accountable, someone who is very respectful of your needs and who understands that their actions have consequences. So this is also someone who is very accountable and responsible for themselves, their actions, and their way of thinking as well. Yeah, so this could also be a relationship or a connection that will help you in seeing yourself in a new light and will help you in feeling more and more comfortable with speaking your truth and being seen in your relationships, no matter what kind of relationship dynamic they are. Because I feel like whoever this person is that is entering your life in the month of August, or that you will, enter into a romantic relationship with, is someone who will see right through you. So this is not someone that you can lie to, per se. And this isn't someone who will run away. If you fear opening up to others about what is truly bothering you, what is hurting you, because you fear that the moment that you do, they're going to run the other way, this person will show you right from the beginning that they are not going to do that. How it's coming through is that this is someone who doesn't get scared and or intimidated easily. So as mentioned, this isn't someone that you can lie to, because they ask only the truth from you. They're giving me like a no BS kind of energy. So they could even have this thing where once you look them directly in the eye, you just can't lie. because they're all about honesty, they're all about transparency, they're all about showing up authentically, because this is someone who they themselves won't lie. So if you ask like their honest opinion, they will give it to you. So I feel like this person will also teach you a lot about what it means to stand in your truth and be honest and sincere with yourself. Yeah, so if you're single, I don't see you being single for long. So if you don't enter into a romantic relationship in the month of August, the very least I see you meeting someone. And I feel like this person or this romantic connection is not only going to start a lot of changes in your romantic love life, but in all other areas of your life as well. I feel like once this person enters your life, or you allow this person into your life, you're going to experience a lot of changes in your life in general. There's this feeling of like having your world turned upside down. Everything you thought you knew is no more. And all of a sudden, I don't know why, but images of the Disney movie Aladdin came to mind. So I feel like this is indicating that this person will take you on a magic carpet ride, and it might get bumpy at some points, because I feel like this connection, this relationship comes with a lot of lessons, major life lessons, and then we do have justice here. So yeah, there will be a lot of lessons to be learned through this connection and a relationship. And some of these lessons might be more intense, more hard to swallow or to digest than others. Yeah, the message that just came through, and I feel it's coming from this person here, is I won't let you hide anymore. You have to show up now, because I choose to see you. I choose to see you as you are. So this is a very like transformative, healing connection. You could be seeing a lot of repeated 11s, or the angel number 1111, or repeated ones like 111 in the month of August, especially before meeting this person if you haven't met them already, or before you enter into this new cycle or new beginning in your romantic love life. Okay, but now I'm going to move into the last segment of this reading, where I'm going to pull out some extra messages, guidance, and or advice for each relationship dynamic. Also, if you want to receive a direct message from someone that you have a specific relationship dynamic with, you can keep this person in mind as I'm shuffling the deck to hopefully receive a direct message from them. So I will start off by pulling out a card for your relationship with self. So in this case, if you want, you could set an intention to receive a direct message from your higher self or a spirit guide of yours. Okay, so I'll take these two. This one flipped over. We have change with to change your life, you have to change yourself. To change yourself, you have to change your mindset. Wow. This is like a really good sum up of everything that was said when it came to your relationship with self for the month of August. The colors blue, red, or orange could be of significance. We also had a lot of like blues and purples here with the peacock. And we also have energy. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. White flowers could be important. Your higher self could come through in the form of white flowers. Now I'm going to pull extra advice and or guidance for your platonic relationships. So if there is someone that you want to receive a direct message from, who you have a platonic relationship with, please keep that person in mind. Hopefully we'll receive a message from their higher self. Again, 2 cards. Okay, so we have dignity with love yourself and be proud of everything you do, even your mistakes, because your mistakes mean you're trying. And we also have friendship. In life, have a friend that is like a mirror and shadow. Mirror doesn't lie and shadow never leaves. Wow. I feel like all of these messages go very well with the reading. What just came to mind is that in your platonic relationships, there could be someone who is very blunt with you, very honest. This is someone who keeps you accountable, someone who doesn't sugarcoat things or will lie to you just to keep you happy and pleased. Because this is someone who wants for you to grow, to succeed, to be healthy, to be well. Yeah, and the King of Swords can be very, very direct, very honest. They tell it how it is or how they see it. They don't sugarcoat things. They're not there to people please or tell people what they want to hear instead of what they need to hear. Okay, but now I'm gonna pull out a message for your romantic love life. If you want to receive a direct message from your significant other or someone that you are romantically interested in, or from your future romantic partner, you can set an intention to do so. Hopefully we'll receive a message from their higher self. Okay, so we have Dreamer with go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined. Oh, this is also giving me the vibe of the person who is entering your life. For those of you who are single, is the person that you have been dreaming of. I know that's very corny and cheesy, but if you have been manifesting love into your life or a significant other, this person will be who you have been manifesting. Or the relationship you have with this person will be the relationship and or the connection that you have been manifesting. Like you will be literally living the life you have imagined when it comes to your romantic love life. If you are single, the person who is entering your life, you could be dreaming them or they could be showing up in your dreams before they enter your life. And I feel this is mutual. So I feel they would have also dreamt you before meeting you. And I also get the feeling that this person has been manifesting you. Or you or this relationship will be like a dream come true for this person. And for those of you who are in a committed relationship, maybe this is how you feel about your connection and or your person already. Okay, but these are all the messages we have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance and clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Yeah, but thank you so much for sticking around until the very end, and a huge thank you to all of you who took a moment to watch the advertisement, since that is a simple way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. Thank you to all of the energies that came through to deliver these messages for you, and thank you for allowing me to do this reading for you. I am wishing you a prosperous, peaceful, and healthy month of August for you and for your loved ones. And until the next moment, bye-bye.